After many months of patiently waiting for a lot of work being done behind the scenes and listening to the creator community for Skull and Bones, DevTides has finally arrived. And after about a week of trying it out on stream and off stream, I'm going to share my impressions regarding DevTides. And for the most part, I feel like it's pretty positive. But there's a few concerns I have that we'll talk about near the end of the video. By the way, Skull and Bones is now on Ubisoft Plus Classics. It's also available on PlayStation Plus Extra and PlayStation Plus Premium. So if you happen to have one of those three services, either Ubisoft Plus Classics, PlayStation Plus Extra, and PlayStation Plus Premium, then you can play Skull and Bones right now. Skull and Bones is now included with all three of those subscriptions. Since the launch of Skull and Bones, a lot of things have been missing that the community has been wanting, and credit to Ubisoft Singapore. They've been listening. They've been working hard trying to improve Skull and Bones, and there's a lot more stuff coming in Season 2, including the frigates in the summer, so that's going to be awesome. We're finally getting a large ship, and then we're getting the Corvette sometime in the fall or the winter. So we got two large ships on the way. There are going to be some missions where we're going to be able to do some like gunplay, hand-to-hand combat. That's also coming up this year as well. But another thing a lot of players were wanting was a PvP mode. Originally, Skull and Bones was promoted as a PvP game. But unfortunately, as most of you know, Skull and Bones ended up in development hell for a few years. But we now have DevTides, which is the PvP mode in Skull and Bones. It's currently in beta, which means that Ubisoft Singapore is looking at the feedback from the community, seeing what we like, what we don't like, going to be tweaking it down the road in the hopes of improving DevTides going forward. At the moment, we have two different modes in DevTides. First off is Tidebreaker. This is basically the capture the point mode. Two teams going against each other, and you have to capture up to 3 points within the time limit in order to win the battle. The other mode is Fleet Fire. This is Team Deathmatch. The first team to reach a certain number of points wins the match. Most of you have probably played a Team Deathmatch before. You are probably quite familiar with the way Team Deathmatches and hard points or capture the points work in PvP games. And there's also quick play for players wanting to just get into a match as quickly as possible. Along with the two modes, we have 4 unique maps specifically for DevTides: Brimstone, Sanctuary, Sunken Ruins, and Mukiti Falls. In DevTides, you have the ability to either use up to 5 of your own ships, part of the DevTide fleet, or you can also use the 6 preset ships, which is beneficial for veteran players as well as new players to Skull and Bones. If you wish to add a ship to your DevTide fleet, once again, you can have a maximum of 5 DevTide ships total. You got to select the ship that you want to use, go to Manage Ship, and then come down to Assign to DevTide's fleet. That will add it to your DevTide's fleet. And if you want to remove the ship, obviously you select Remove from DevTide's fleet. You will get a variety of upgrades as you rank up in DevTides, and the ultimates are only good for DevTides, but this is where you will come to equip the ultimate for each of your personal DevTide fleet ships. You come in here, and as you unlock more of these ultimates, then you can select which ultimate best suits your build and the type of ship you wish to take into battle for DevTides. And as you progress through DevTides, you will unlock more ultimates that you can use on your DevTide fleet ships. If you don't have a fully upgraded or maxed out ship with the best armor, best weapons on it, and you don't really feel comfortable with using any of your ships for DevTides, or you just want to try out the preset ships, that's totally fine. You can actually switch them in between kills, so every time you're killed during a match, if you're not happy with your current ship, you can always switch it. But the preset ships available for everybody, veteran and new players to DevTides, include the Marksman, which is a Garuda. This is basically the sniper ship. This baby has the ability to hit targets from an impressive distance with these long gun cannons, and it does specialize in a gas attack. The Stormwall is another medium-sized ship. It's the battle junk, and it has the ability to be the vanguard of your fleet if you want a big ship that can take a lot of damage and also deal a lot of damage. This is a ship for a lot of new players to Skull and Bones and Death Tides to definitely consider using. It's pretty impressive, close range and long range, with 4 Divine Thunder long guns, and the main damage that they do is lightning-based damage to enemy ships. If you're the type of player that likes to be the healer in PvP combat, good news, we have a medium ship just for you, the Paladin, which is a bark. It is obviously meant to be used for healing your ally ships. This ship has healing weapons on the right and left side, and the auxiliary weapon is also for healing purposes, but it also has some offensive capabilities with the heliports in the front and back of the ship. You may have also noticed that each of these ships also come with a unique ultimate that you can try out as well. Obviously, for the Paladin, it is the healing ultimate, Mass Revitalization, whereas the Battle Junk has the Lepage single launcher that launches the Lepage elite warship to aid your fleet. The Marksman has the Hunter ultimate that you can use to deal additional damage for up to 20 seconds. There's 3 more DPS style ships that you can use as part of the preset fleet, which includes the Disruptor, which is basically the torpedo boat of the preset fleet. So if you like getting medium close range attacks on your enemy in battle, this is the ship for you. Torpedoes are the weapon of choice for the Disruptor. If you're in the mood for a small yet fast and deadly attack ship in PvP for Skull and Bones, look no further to the Lancelot. It's a small ship, the better, and this thing is meant for up close and personal combat. With these coordinated guns, they're basically just meant for getting as close as possible to your foes. If there are 2 ships in this preset fleet that serve as, I guess you could say, starfighters like in Star Wars, the Disruptor is basically the Y-Wing and the Lancelot is the X-Wing. The 6th and final ship is a fire-based ship called the Pyro class. It's a sandbug, and as you might have guessed, this thing is all about the fire damage, up close and personal, with the Blue Spectre flamethrower at the front, along with some fire bombards on the sides and the rear. This thing is the fire ship of the preset fleet. If you want to watch your enemies burn, then the Pyroclast is definitely the ship for you. While a lot of players playing Death Tides are doing it because they've been craving the PvP action that they've been sorely missing for the most part in Skull and Bones, there is additional motivation for everybody to give Skull and Bones Death Tides a chance in the Death Tides reward section. By the way, the Death Tides rewards are available for everybody. You do not have to pay to earn these rewards. You just have to play Death Tides, whether you're a veteran player, a new player, or you got the Smuggler's Pass, or you don't have the Smuggler's Pass. That does not matter. This is available for everybody that's willing to play Death Tides. And there's a variety of rewards to choose from, including silver, upgrade materials, weapons along with furniture, pieces of 8, cosmetics for your ships, upgrade parts, ascension modules, ultimates, which once again is only usable in Death Tides, and the other rewards you get by playing through the 101 tiers of Death Tides rewards is ships. Yes, the game will actually give you ships to customize as well as upgrade. The first ship you get is the Better, which is one of the small ships, the Cutter, Hulk, Barge, Sloop, the Padawakan, which is one of the easiest medium ships to build, Snow, Brigantine, Sandbuck, Bark, Brig, Battle Junk, and if you reach level 92 in the Death Tides rewards, you will also get the Garuda. In case you're wondering where most of the rewards go besides your ships, they go into your warehouse for you to open whenever you're ready, or use like the upgrade parts, as well as ascension modules for your weapons. Some piece of advice: if you do decide to get into Death Tides, make sure you have crossplay on, or you might be sitting there like me a week ago wondering why nobody else is joining you. Like it or not, you're going to have to play Death Tides via crossplay. And just like almost every other PvP mode in game out there, you're going to come across casual players as well as extremely sweaty players. The more you play at Death Tides, the better at it you most likely get. But even somebody like me who really doesn't care for PvP modes for the most part, I'm still having a blast playing Death Tides, despite my ships getting blasted to bits in almost every single match. As promised, I want to talk about some things that I would consider to be negatives or much needed for Death Tides. First off, we only got 2 modes at launch, which is fine, but that could get tiresome very quickly to a lot of players. It would have been nice if we got like 3 or 4 modes instead of just 2. I have a few suggestions, maybe like a free-for-all deathmatch. We do have the team deathmatch. What about a free-for-all where everybody's just in the lobby trying to destroy each other, and the first one to get like 10 points or 15 points wins? That would be kind of cool. A battle royale, I don't know. I feel like that's been overdone and it would end so quickly, and you would have to have a much larger map for a battle royale. But I think a free-for-all deathmatch would work fine as a new mode, along with Capture the Treasure, because that has a very pirate theme and feel to it. You sink an elite warship, or you sink a convoy of ships that have treasure on it, and basically you have to get that treasure delivered back to your base. I can envision Capture the Treasure as an extremely fun pirate-themed mode, because you work together at first, the 2 fleets, to take out the enemy warship or warships or convoy. Once the PvE enemy is sunk and then you have the treasure in the water, then it's a fight to grab the treasure and get enough of the treasure back to your base. One team's base would be at the top of the map while the other team's base is at the bottom of the map. And basically you're just fighting it out, struggling to try to get as much treasure chests back to your side of the map as possible in order to win the match. And my final suggestion for a mode would be simply a racing mode, and maybe there's 2 variations of racing. One with weapons on, similar to Mario Kart, where you could just destroy each other while hitting the checkpoints trying to get to the finish line. Or perhaps even like a weapons disabled version of racing in Death Tides, where it's just basically all about the fastest, most maneuverable ships winning the race. Another fun mode that I just thought about is maybe like a hunting mode where everyone has to get into a dhow and you have to kill all these sharks and crocodiles and hippos coming after you. You get points for each one you kill, plus you can also get points killing other players. But instead of using all the other ships, you're in the dhows. A dhow hunter mode for Death Tides could actually be a lot of fun. And by the way, if somebody at Ubisoft Singapore is watching and you like one or all the modes that I've suggested for Death Tides, feel free and use them. And if you want to give me some credit and maybe my own GB Wolf themed sell pattern, I wouldn't mind that either. But in all seriousness, I really am enjoying Death Tides. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be appealing to the majority of the Skull and Bones community, which, to be honest, isn't that large. This is a niche game. Reality is not everybody's into this kind of game, but there is definitely a community of us across the world that have become quite fond of Skull and Bones over the past year. It does seem pretty apparent after a week of playing Death Tides that the majority of the player base is staying away from Death Tides in favor of continuing to just do the PvE stuff in the open world, the elite warships, the sea monsters, convoys, plunders, etc. I really do hope that the PvE players that have yet to give Death Tides a chance will consider doing so, because it actually is a lot of fun. And from what I've noticed, most players that are actually playing Death Tides seem to be enjoying it. Or maybe they're just playing Death Tides till they get all 101 tiers and the rewards unlocked. In conclusion, it would be awesome if the content for Year 2, along with Death Tides, and Skull and Bones now being available on PlayStation Plus Extra, PlayStation Plus Premium, along with Ubisoft Plus Classics, resulted in more players giving this game a chance and a larger active player count for Skull and Bones. Whether or not that actually happens, only time will tell. Your thoughts, views, and opinions, welcome, as always, below in the comments section.